Welcome to CAAT TV, where culture speaks. Stand by. Our live stream will begin shortly. Welcome to CAAT TV, where culture speaks. Stand by. Our live stream will begin shortly.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to CAAT TV and CMPRadio.net today. We are super excited to be partnering with the most fabulous Uncle P.
Oh, man. Thank you.
And we also have some local candidates here. And we're going to have a wonderful conversation to get to know them, to know who you're voting for, to know who your options are, because again, we always want to give the people a voice, right? So without further ado, I again am your co-host today, Tara Jones. I'm excited to have you all here with us today. P, you want to say hi to the people?
What's up, everybody, man? You know, it's your boy, Uncle P, and I'm delighted to be here at the CAAT Center again for another Candidates Forum. You know, we've been doing the Candidates Forum, I mean, since CMP started, right? The very first one we did, man, that was over 6 years ago?
Yes.
Wow. So, you know, I'm super proud of the relationship that me and Miss Tara Jones have continued to do, right, or continue to formulate and make sure it speaks to our community the way it deserves to be spoken to. So thank you again for this time, for your space, and for your technology, man. We've grown. We've grown,
absolutely, right?
Absolutely.
And we're still here,
absolutely.
Right? Those pieces of the puzzle that we talked about those years ago, right? And a lot of people don't understand it's okay to be in your space. But it's also okay to share that space as a part of the whole puzzle. So
that's the only way your space grows. You have to share space. You have to link with another bubble, right? And you link with another bubble, your bubble gets bigger. You link with another one, it gets bigger. As you continue to link, your bubble gets bigger. You continue to bring new people into what you held so dear to yourself, right? Don't be selfish with your dream, bro. So many people have told me that over the last 8 years. Stop being selfish with your dream. Nah, it's just mine. No, it's everybody's. If you want to be for the community, your dream has to encompass everybody. Everything that we hold so dear is important to a lot of people, right? So I'm just excited to be here, excited to sit here with the candidates, right? We couldn't get everybody, right? Again, my apologies. You feel me? I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to send an email out, and I didn't do it.
Stop it.
No, listen, I take accountability, right? I don't have no problem with doing that. I didn't send the email out, so if there's anyone up here that you don't see, blame it on P, you feel me? And still, try to reach out to that person and find out who you want to vote for.
That's not all accurate, because even some people were asked.
True.
And decided not to. So we can't give everybody that same grace.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's just be clear on that.
Set fire to where you smell gas, no problem.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So hopefully those that did not get the letter will be able to come on, because there's still that technology piece where they have the link and they can just come on and they can answer some questions for the people as well.
Awesome. Okay.
So nobody left behind.
Nobody.
Nobody left behind.
Nobody.
So, without further ado, can we,
let's get into it.
Get into it.
You want to introduce our candidates?
Okay. Just by name first, and then we'll start with the councilman.
Okay.
Okay. You want to start by introducing yourself to the people?
That mic isn't on.
It's on.
Mic is dead. Let me see that mic. Handle that mic. Right, there we go. Yeah, rotate that one. right?
Okay.
Over there. Let me
Go
see.
ahead, try it again. They want to hear. They want to hear you.
Trina Johnson, candidate for school board for the Chester Upland School District.
Thank you.
Shaquan Davis, candidate for Chester City Council.
Barnes, candidate for Chester Upland School District
Let's
Board.
go. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. You want to start with the question, Pete?
You got me starting with the question. Listen, this question is for City Council candidate Shaquan Davis, man. Let's start with transparency and accountability, right? Chester residents often express frustration with the lack of transparency in local government. What specific steps will you take to rebuild public trust and ensure accountability in how decisions, contracts, and budgets are managed?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for the opportunity for being here. I want to thank you for the questions. I want to thank everybody that's turning in today. Your time is not wasted here. It's invaluable. And I just want to let you know that before I get started.
Right.
So now I get started.
Right.
Honestly, it starts with meeting the people in our community where they are.
Right.
We talk about social media. We talk about going door to door. We talk about flyers. We talk about different things to reach people. But everyone in the city of Chester, we're all individuals and we're all people. So we're all in different walks of life and we're all in different positions. So everyone's not on Facebook. Everyone's not on Instagram. Everyone's not on Twitter. Everyone's not home at certain hours of the day. Some people work overnight. So you have to be willing to, okay, let's sit down and figure out where our people are and what do they need. Some people aren't looking for certain information, so they're not going to get it.
Right.
But that's not to say that's a negative thing, but it's not for everyone. So you have to make sure that people who are interested in what they need are getting what they need. Some people are heavily involved in the budgeting process in the city. We have to find a way to touch those specific individuals first.
Absolutely.
And have them phone a friend.
Right.
Who else is interested? Well, I know someone. Let them know, because we reached you. And it's important that we have our community hold each other accountable and bring someone else up. As a city councilman now, I think the easiest way to do that is by communicating. I think there's a lack of communication in our community. People don't talk to each other anymore. I mentioned it in the city council meeting, and it was very small, but people pulled me to the side and was like, Councilman, thank you for that. It doesn't cost you anything to hold the door for somebody, say good morning. Like the small things, we have to get back to those, because if you can say, hey, I want everyone to know in this room, we have a city council meeting tomorrow, and specifically the budget's going to be involved. And anywhere I go, I just choose to give that information, because one, I'm a city council member, one, I'm in my community. I don't care if I'm in Sam & Sam's, Walmart, wherever I'm at, I can spread knowledge and provide resources. So it's just understanding the message that you're trying to convey and how you're trying to convey it. I feel as though that's where we need to start, because it's too jumbled right now. I look at our community and it's divided. And to break that division, we have to start, one, with communication. We got to start talking to people. People got to get on the same page. If you can't get to the same page, you got to at least be in the same book. Get to the point where we're at least in the same book. And then we'll work on getting on the same page. So I really just believe it's starting with the small things, bringing everyone together first with communication. Glad you answered directly. I know I said a lot, and I'm not trying to be throwing out for the people, but I think it's multifaceted when we talk about things like this, and I want to cover every aspect to the best of my knowledge. I can speak up for everyone. I want to let y'all know it.
Right.
Okay.
A follow-up question.
Okay.
Was there ever a ward leader program in the city of Chester, right? And if there was, do you think you have the bandwidth to restart it, to restart that program, and to allow for community members to take charge in their wards, right? I don't know how a ward is broken down, right? But I know we are broken down into wards, right? I don't know if every city council member has certain wards that they're in charge of, right? Would that be a problem, or do you think that that could be something, some sort of solution to help? Because we have the block captain program start back up, but I think the ward leaders would be above the block captains. So communication will go, a regular community member goes to a block captain, then the block captain goes to the ward leader, then the ward leader goes to their city councilman. Do you think that's a program that you would like to start, or at least just start?
Definitely.
Right.
I think involving more residents in community government and the day-to-day process of the city is of vital importance. So not just the block program, like you said, the ward leaders and everything. It's understanding that everyone wants to be involved in the community to some degree.
Right.
Like, the wiser citizen in her home who's 98 years old, who earned the right to retire and sit home. She still has a voice, and she still wants something. She still wants to be heard, right?
Right.
So reaching out to everyone and figuring out what exactly their role is and what they would like it to be, and just getting it started. The block program is a great way to segue into something like that, because you already have people, individuals who are specifically tackling their area. That's a great way to start, right? If you have a block captain who's already outside knocking on doors, would anybody interested in being a ward leader and what a ward leader is? And we can come up with specifics, but city council is not broken down into wards. I don't have a ward. Councilwoman Portia West doesn't have a ward. Councilman Fred Green does not have a ward, and Councilwoman Tamika Gibson does not have a ward. We are city council members at large, so we serve the whole city of Chester.
Okay.
Right? I think it's important to look at what you want a ward leader to look like.
Right.
Right? So I can say I want you to be a ward leader, but someone down the block who doesn't know you or might not have the same relationship say, well, why should he be the ward leader? That's part of communication, right? Because you can make an awesome ward leader, right? But everyone doesn't know you and they might not support what you have going on. So it starts with understanding what people want to do and how willing they are to be on the forefront. I think it's a very simple thing to get started, though, honestly. And I try to break things down in simplest form. Who wants to be involved? We have 50 hands from 21st Street, 30 hands from Sun Village, 16 hands from the William Penn Projects. Let's bring all of them in a room, and you can do it at random if you want to, just draw straws or whatever the case may be. But now we have enough people in the room where we can actually get something done and put a ward leader in place. It's people out there that just don't know how to do it. You just got to reach out to people. That's all.
There are ward leaders.
Thank you.
There are ward leaders.
Okay.
You just have to go to the parties and find out who those ward leaders
Who
are.
the ward leaders are inside of the party?
Yeah, a Republican Party and Democratic Party, they have designated ward leaders.
Ward leaders. Okay.
And
If that's the route you are looking to go. Again, I'm neutral in all of this, so I'm just saying if that's a route you want to take with the ward leaders, you would have to look at, that's one place where ward leaders already exist.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You might want to call it something else, but that's where I know ward leaders exist right now.
And those ward leaders vote right inside of the parties for the nominees and stuff like that. That's what they do.
Yes.
so
Okay.
ward leaders are responsible for making sure that anybody who is in their area has a voters list. So all the list of registered voters, what they are, Republican, Democrat, non-affiliated, whatever the case may be. A ward leader would have that all information.
Okay.
A ward leader is able to tell you where you go vote, like your specific. I keep messing up that word, y'all. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Polling location. They're responsible for assisting with getting more voters in the community and putting outreach out to anyone when it's time for election time. So right now, ward leaders should be out door knocking as well. Like they're responsible
Right.
for their area.
Okay.
So that's why it's important. And even the language that we're using here, like, I don't want to get too involved. Like it's problematic. We got to be able to say, who's my ward leader? Oh, you have your ward leader's number.
Right.
Here it
You
is.
should be able
Here it
to
is.
say that.
You should be able to say that. That's part of transparency.
Right.
People don't feel as though they can go and just get information.
can't.
Unfortunately, and that's a problem in our community.
So that's something that, again, you say, hey, community, this needs to be changed.
This needs to be changed. All right. You hear that?
Okay. Thank you. So I know when you were first introduced into politics, right? You were appointed
Yes.
as a council person.
Yes.
And there was a big old question mark. He was appointed. Why? You know, what is his qualifications? Is he going to be, you know, a yes man? Is he going to be someone that stands out for the community? I heard all of that, so I know you heard all of that.
Definitely.
Right? So knowing that that was a thing, right? How do you feel? Like you was like, yeah, I was appointed, but this is what I've done, and this is why you should, you know, vote for me because I'm good at this.
Right. I definitely heard everything, and it weighed on my heart and my soul because I'm from Chester, and one thing about Chester is most people can agree we are competitive. We are competitive. We are competitive people, right?
Absolutely.
So when people say like, what are the qualifications? Where do you come from? Well, immediately after I graduated undergrad at Science College in 2019, I got a job at a law firm right down the street in Brookhaven, John Avazlu and Associates. Wonderful program. Worked there for a few months. Went to different court cases. Went to media all the time. With meeting different lawyers, judges, and all these different people. And just was kind of like a fly on the wall in the room. I was just a new intern, kind of. I was getting paid, but not paid money, more so intern money. But I was learning, right? And I was meeting people. And Mr. Voslu said, hey, it'd be great if you go back to your own community, because I'm happy that you graduated from Ursinus College. I'm happy that your dad's a judge. I'm happy, but I feel as though you can serve best in Chester. So I walked around Chester, literally, this is how it happened. I walked over town in Chester and seeing that state representative at the time, Brian Kirkland, had an office. And I walked in his office and I seen his chief of staff. Her name was Miss Leisha Long. And her and our son, we grew up together. So her son is Keeson Long. We same grade, like we grew up together. And I said, hey, Miss Leisha, how you doing? Oh, hey, Quan, how you been? Good. I just graduated college. I work at John & Voslu's law firm and everything like that. Really? Well, we're looking for a legislative assistant. Would you be interested? Well, what is that? What would I need to do? Mr. Voslu just told me last week that I should get involved in Chester. I'm happy that you got your education and you're working, but work in Chester. So Ms. Leisha gave me the application. I talked to Brian. That was my first time ever meeting Brian Kirkland. He was impressed by the way I interviewed, the way I came in my nice suit, the way I spoke, and he offered me a job. And I went home and I sat down and talked to my dad. I said, Dad, how do you feel about this opportunity? He said, it's exactly what it is. It's an opportunity. It is what you make it. So I said, okay, I took it. And I started with it. I started there. I was working in State Representative Brian Kirkland's office as a legislative assistant. I would travel back and forth to Harrisburg every now and again, meet different state reps. And I pulled him to the side one day and I said, Rep, this is kind of what I want to do. Like, you have a lot of power here. You meet a lot of people. You have a lot of influence. Your voice matters. I want my voice to matter like this. Like, this is what I want to do for my community, for our people. And then I just stuck with politics. After that, I started meeting people, shaking hands. I ran for state committee. I won, so I was representative. I was our delegate and representative for state committee for Chester. So I was the Chester's representative for a state committee. Went to Harrisburg and different meetings like that, and sat in the room. And I learned. Like I said, I learned. I try to soak up as much information as I can. So then, once time to come to get appointed, or talks or whispers, or oh, there's seats available for city council, I happily stepped up. Like, that's something that I'm happy to do. Like, I would love to be involved in city council. And I heard the different names that was involved. It was a gentleman, Chris Garrett at the time, and Andrew Nelson. Wonderful candidates in both. I say this with the utmost respect, impressive young men from our community. I took that as a challenge, though. Like, okay, what does Chris Garrett and Andrew Nelson have that I don't? Right. I looked at it, and I actually talked to Andrew. I'm like, Andrew, went to the military. I have this degree. Cool. I'm going to get it. Because, listen, you're not going to outwork me, bro. And if you outwork me, listen, that's going to be tough, but you're not going to outwork me. So now it's like, with my competitiveness, I'm in school getting my master's. I go to Widener University. I was at Westchester, but unfortunately it got a little expensive, so I had to withdraw from there and transfer, hopefully. But my credits worked out. So right now I'm working on getting my master's. I graduate next year, God willing.
Come on.
My plan is to further my education. So education is there. So that qualifies me with my education. I'm from Chester. I love Chester. This is my people. So that qualifies me to serve our community because I am Chester. And I say that with pride. Like, I'm so Chester, y'all. Like, for real. I'm so Chester, y'all. Absolutely. So when you look at my education, where I'm from, where I come from, the pride I take in our community, I think I'm the perfect candidate to be a city council member. And people just stop me all the time and say, Councilman, is there anything else you want to do? You know, you want to run for mayor? No, I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm trying to be the best city council member I can be. I'm trying to be the best father I can be. I'm supposed to be the most educated young man that I can be. So that way when someone sees me, they say, I'm proud for that young man to be my councilman. Why? Because he has his credentials, he has education, he carries himself well, he keeps his pride, integrity, and all those things I think about when I go home. I'm stressed out all the time. But I feel as though there's no better person to be a candidate for city council than me. And if there is, let me know what they're doing so I can learn from them and I can work to be better than them. Because my goal is to be the best.
Y'all heard it. I think it was very clear.
Very clear. Very clear.
Very clear. So if you all had any doubts, you know, he's always open. I know that personally. Always open. And one last follow-up on the qualifications and, you know, telling people why you should be here. I know you're a dad.
Yes.
I know
Proud
him too.
dad.
Yes.
Personally. Yeah, I know him too.
I say that because I always see you, fiance, giving you titles.
Yes.
Father. You know, balancing it, right? Yes. Because those of us that have been doing what we do for a long time and balancing our families, we know it's difficult. And it's just sometimes we got, Lord have mercy, you know, but you're doing it young, you know. So how do you balance it all right now? And as you say, you want to stay in it and, you know, kind of take one step at a time. You know, how are you balancing it?
Honestly, with my village. My mom, my dad, my sister, my fiance, my grandparents, like everyone I feel as though I have a village. In my village, I reach out to them for support. I reach out to them for like questions, answers. Listen, bro, my son's crying. What do you feel as though I could do? Because I've tried this, I tried that. Like you said, there's no parenting on book. There's no book on parenting. So
Yeah, we
there's
know
nothing
that.
I can go to. Like, let me look this up to see what's wrong with my son. No, so I really like lean on my village. Like, hey, Dad, you know, I want my son to be this, that, and the third. I'm already doing this. You feel as though anything I can do be doing better?
Right.
Well, how about you give this a try? Yes, sir. I give that a try. Mom, I'm trying to cook this. I want to make this. I want to make sure my son's eating healthy. Any recommendations? Oh, well, when you were younger, we tried this. Yes, ma'am. Let me give that a try. So I just lean on my village. I make sure my young lady, my girlfriend, my fiance, my backbone, she supports me. She helps me. We communicate. Like, listen, what's going on? I'm having a tough mental day. Okay. What can I do to pick up the slack so that way you're the best that you can be and I'm the best that I can be, so that way our son is the best we're the best for our son.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I just try to do everything I can to learn and lean on my village. Like, no one can go anywhere alone. No one. Donald Trump didn't get where he's at alone. Jeff Bezos didn't get where he's at alone. This is something that we talk about in Chester. Like, we got to work together.
We have to.
So when it comes to raising children, work together. Like, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. I might ask y'all some questions when I leave here. Like, seriously, because it's important to learn from the people that have done it before you. And I see positive people doing it. Like, I want to be, like I said, I'm competitive. I think you're a great dad. I think you're an awesome mom. Let me sit back and see what they're doing. They're very calm. They're very patient. Let me try to implement that in my routine with my child, so that way my child can be the best young man he can be.
Absolutely.
So that's my honest answer. I lean on my village. I do not do this all myself. I cannot be in 2 places at one time. Quick phone call. Hey, Mom, I got a forum to go to from 3 to 5. Do you mind if you watch? Do I mind? I'm on my way to get him already. Perfect. Because now I can come here calmly and be the best me I can be. Like, my son is safe. He's fine.
Exactly.
I'm here. I'm present. So you just got to lean on your village and just understand that we all need help.
Absolutely.
That's something I think we've been saying, right?
Yes.
You know, some people want to think we're competing in certain times. Like, no, you must not know us. You know, we are working together and we understand village. But a lot of people don't understand village. And to your credit, you know, competitive is nice, right? It's good to be competitive because you don't want to be too comfortable. However, it's not always competition. Right? Because when you compete too much, then you don't leave room for collaboration. You know, so, and again, as I say all the time, collaboration. We definitely need to collaborate more. So again, we are grateful that you all are here. Did you have any more questions for our councilman?
Yeah, I want to, environmental justice and health, right? We know Chester has carried the weight of pollution and environmental injustice for decades. How will you push for cleaner air, water, and accountability from corporations that profit from operating here? We have a ton along the side of the Delaware River, right? Corporations that are polluting or not polluting, but they aren't doing their job as far as checking in on the community and making sure the community is fine. What do you think City Council should do to hold them accountable?
Honestly, I think the same thing the community does to us is put their feet to the fire. So it's funny that I took the class Environmental Justice when I was at our science college, and my professor was Jonathan Clark. And it's crazy that's talking about Jonathan Clark. But he's a small, skinny Caucasian male, and he was very passionate about environmental justice. I'm talking about like fracking when it comes to too much pollution in our waters. He's on the front line. While he's being a professor at a college, he's on the front line like this is wrong. We want to do something about it. Putting people's feet to the fire. Like, oh no, he's not going away anytime soon. We have to change some policies. We have to change the way we operate, whatever the case may be, to stop this gentleman from coming to our front door and causing problems all the time. And that's something that resonated in me when I was in school. And I'm like, wow, that's Chester. That is my community. Like, I did not know. Like, that's not something I learned in STEM, unfortunately. So when I got to college, I'm like, wow, we have to hold their feet to the fire. Like, listen, our kids have asthma. What are y'all going to do about it? And as a councilman, I'm letting y'all know I'll take responsibility for whatever I'm responsible for. I'm not responsible for the asthma or the pollution in the air. So now I'm putting feet to the fire to who are. Unfortunately, you're burning trash and whatever case may be, you're responsible for this air pollution. What are you going to do about it? Because we know you can afford it. We want to talk about dollars and cents. We can talk about dollars and cents. We're making a whole lot of money is being made. And it's not costing us too much money to implement small safety procedures for our community. but they don't want to do it because it's an extra expense or whatever the case may be. So really holding their feet to the fire, like, listen, you need to hold a community forum once every 3 months or whatever the case may be. And in it, you need to have information, resources, and whatever else is directly responsible from your doing business here. And we have to make it relatable. Like, you have to let people know the harm they are doing, or else they're going to continue to do it.
Right.
It's just like a job. Like, if you have a negative relationship with your boss, if you don't let your boss know, y'all going to forever have a negative relationship. Like, oh, I thought we was cool. We were never cool. We've been 6 years I've been working here. We have never been cool. Wow, I didn't know. Well, that's crazy. I should have told you 6 years ago. But that's what's happening in our community. Like, listen, we are not happy. Whoever we are, I'm not speaking for everyone, but I can. If you're not happy with something, let someone know so they can do something about it. Or else it's just going to be brushed off to the side.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, and we have to do it the right way. All our groups out here that is about environmental justice, come to City Hall, let mayor and council know, listen, we holding y'all to the fire. Y'all can't go home until we figure out what we're going to do about Covanta, maybe, if that's what we're talking about. Oh, well. As a public official, I'm going to let you know if y'all say I can't go home, I'm not going home. Like, I serve y'all, so we're not going home until we figure this Covanta situation out, y'all, because the community is not playing. Or whatever the case may be. Like, but if no one says anything, then, oh, well, it is what it is. And we're going to keep going on daily life as it is. And that,
I know some folks would disagree with that, right? They would disagree that they would say, no, we are keeping them to the fire. Like, we are, fighting as much as we can. But the leaders are not doing as much as they can. Right? So you're saying, hey, hold us more to the fire, keep us in a room if you need to in order to make changes, right? But then when you do go to the council meeting, there's the officers there that, one, they don't want you recording, and you know what I mean? So it's always these other potential issues that may come from a sit-in. So I guess I'm asking, now you're saying this in front of folk.
right, for sure.
So if you're saying, hey, do a sit-in, how do you think mayor and council?
They're going to be upset. They're going to be upset. But if someone comes to a city council meeting and say, hey, when's the last time you had a meeting with the CEO and CFO and all the main leaders of Covanta?
And the other sites?
Right. What are we going to say? We have to answer, right? And most of us are going to say never. And that's just me being honest. We've never sat down with their CFO. I've never sat down with their CEO and had a conversation with that individual. You run this entity, correct? Yes. Explain it to me. Explain everything to me. Like, I want you to map it out as if I'm a third grader and I don't know anything. You have time and I have time. We schedule this meeting, right?
So, and I don't want to stay here too long.
No,
I'm sorry.
that's
But
okay.
is there a protocol? Like, so you are a councilman, right? Could you go as council person down there by yourself, or is it protocol that the council and mayor needs to go and deal with something like that?
As a council person, I have the freedom to do so. I have taken a tour of their facility.
Okay.
Before I was a councilman. Now I need to take another one as a councilman because I haven't taken a tour since I've been a councilman.
Okay.
They are going to say the exact same thing that I'm saying. Like, listen, what do you want to know? You know what I mean? What do you want to know? You set up a meeting. What do you want to know? I want to know this, that, and the third.
Okay.
Okay. Well, when we tell you and you don't like the answer, then what? Well, then I'm going to go and take this a little further. I'm going to go to Delaware County Council. I'm going to call State Rep Kazim. I'm going to call whoever the case may be, Senator John Kane. Okay, I have some problems with what was discussed to me when I went on a visit yesterday. Well, what's your problem, Councilman? It seems that we have this state law that says X, Y, and Z. I don't have the power or capacity to change that. State Rep, you might be able to help me with that, though. And if we have a positive enough relationship, and she has a positive enough relationship with her colleagues, we can get change done quickly. Like, listen, I want to put this in place. Let's vote on it. Whatever the case may be, the political process is going to go through. We have to start understanding that we have to use that. And there's always everyone answers to someone to some degree, right? So we have to utilize those resources. Like, okay, well, who do you answer to as a major corporation? Technically, we answer to the federal government. Okay, well, who in the federal government? What specific, what division?
Right.
Industry division.
Okay.
Who do you respond to? Okay, we respond to them. Let's reach out to them.
Right.
And who needs to reach out to them? Well, it'll be nice if you get a letter from the mayor, but the governor sending us a letter, that's serious.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
I'm glad I got the governor number. I'm going to make sure he's sending y'all a letter. So it's utilizing your resources in a productive and positive manner.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. That was my follow-up.
That was your follow-up?
No, that was the follow-up to your question.
Oh, okay.
So the receiver won't be here forever, right? And you're like the youngest, you're younger than Fred, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to, and you plan on being there, right?
Yes.
So do you have like any ideas on some of the things that you want to do once the receiver is no longer needed or here in the city of Chester? Can you tell the people, some ideas you have?
Yes. The people are most likely going to know me as Councilman Boring, Councilman Blight, Councilman Legislation. I want to implement things that are like going to impact our systemic needs. Like we need to change our system as a city before we can change our people's mindsets or put more money into the community. Like we have to change the system. So one thing I want to implement, something that's been going on, is the police department. We need more community policing, right? So I want to sit down with the commissioner, the mayor, and figure out how we can get more community policing, right? I want to be Councilman Blight. Some of these properties have to come down. So when I fight for the budget next month and whatever case may be, I'm fighting for more demolition projects. And with demo, okay, we have a nice clear lot now. Who's ready to build? And I would prefer if it's Chester residents, but if it's not, I'm okay with welcoming others in as long as they care about our community. Don't try to bring something strange here that is not going to benefit Chester, but you just want to get it out of your way. We don't really want this eyesore in Haverford, but it's okay. We have that in Chester, and they have the space over there. Oh yeah, we do have the space. We don't want that here though. We want beautiful homes. We want infrastructure. We want quality hotels. We want to have hotels here. There are lofts. There's Ritz-Carltons. We can have that in Chester. Why not? So,
Follow up, I'm sorry. So, but I know people who have personally tried, right? And were not successful. I'm talking about Chester folks who had, access and income, but were denied because they were from Chester. So how would you be able to navigate that if it's like another department that's handling it? Lisa Gaffney. CETA. Someone like CETA, like what is your relationship with them so you can, have those conversations to make sure that this is actually possible, not just something that, hey, councilman is wanting it, but actually make it possible. What can you do? Is that something that you say that's systemic, that, that needs to be changed and looked at? Or, is it just something that you want?
I think it's something that can actually change because it's about relationships. So in my opinion, I have a great relationship with Lisa Gaffney to the point where I'm going to give him a shout out right now. My guy, Naeem Davis, who's trying to do RC, which is rally cars, race cars. Sometimes they're electric, sometimes they're gas. He's been trying to implement that program for our kids for 5-6 years in Chester. And it's a dual program. It's race cars where you get kids out of the home, outside, learning how to drive their own cars. They can compete. It's a national, actually international.
Yes, it is.
Sport, really, sponsored by Red Bull, so we can bring that to Chester. For years, they've been telling them we don't have the space. We found the space. I had a meeting with Lisa Gaffney, Mark Alexander, Krista Burrell, our events coordinator, Mr. Naeem, came onto my office, and we figured it out. Praise God, that's going to happen next year. So that's another opportunity for our kids. If you want to play football, you don't want to run track, you want to do soccer, you don't want to be in a spelling bee, you don't want to do mock trial, all those things that we need in our community. If you don't want to do those things, we have another avenue where you can get out of the community. You might be able to make some money. You can learn. So I'm just trying to implement more. And it's easy. It's about community. It's about communication. For years, Lisa Gaffney told me, well, unfortunately, a lot of people come and they don't have their plans thought out. Or they want to buy property, but they don't know what they want to do with it. Or they want to buy property and they don't have the funding. Or they do have the funding, but we didn't really like that. Who is we? Lisa, because we have a great relationship, Lisa, I'm going to talk to you like this. Councilman, you're right. You never come to me with any aggression. You never disrespect me. You always bring people here that are also on the same wavelength of you. They're calm. They're collective. I would love to figure out how I can make this possible. Good. Because we're going to figure out how to make this possible, Lisa. Like, it's literally about communicating and relationships. If you have a poor relationship with someone, it's okay for them not to help you. Like, they're perfectly fine saying, I'm good. I'm good.
Right,
you have a positive relationship with somebody? Oh, I'll jump out that window for you. I'm happy to do it for you. Perfect. Because I'm happy to build positive relationships with people. So Let me use this positive relationship to help my people.
Okay.
Listen, I am, we talk all the time.
Yeah.
And much like when Ms. Tara was talking in the beginning, how you were appointed into the seat, I'm not going to say I didn't agree with it. I saw where you were going. I saw your trajectory, how it looked, right? And I have been impressed of what you have done over the last 2 years, right?
Thank you.
I want to talk about your vision for the city of Chester, and how you hope to help it. Chester has a rich history, but also has very deep divisions, right? When we think about our city, we know, you could be on one side and someone doesn't like you for something that happened 10, 20 years ago, right? How does a thriving Chester look to you? Yeah? And how will you bring people together across wards, backgrounds, and generations to achieve that?
First and foremost, a thriving Chester to me looks like everyone being able equally to reach whatever goals they have for themselves, right? So when it comes to the way I was raised to treat the janitor the same way you treat the CFO.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to treat you the same way. I don't care your title, where you come from, how you live. I'm going to treat you the same way, right? We all want more. So the person that's walking to work today, tomorrow, they might want a car. The person that's renting right now, they might want to be a homeowner. So listen, let's put some things in place where all these people who want something are able to get it. Right? The problem is people want stuff and they're not able to get it. Like, that's too hard to obtain, or somebody's blocking me here. And why? What's going on? Who's blocking you for what? Oh, well, we heard that this, just a random example, we heard that this family's keeping it all in the family. What? Excuse me? Excuse me?
Random example.
A random example, but excuse me? No, I don't agree with that. It's enough out here for everyone. You trying to tell me there's not enough property for this young lady who hasn't had a home in 2 years and she goes to work every day? She's taking care of her child. She just can't afford whatever? No, that doesn't register with me. And I live in America. I understand there's a homeless problem in America. I understand the violence and gun. I understand everything we have going on in society. That doesn't mean I have to agree with it. Right? And I want to use my voice and my thought process to change it. Right? So like I said, I don't identify with poverty. If you don't want to be in poverty and you want to be broke, let's figure out how you don't have to be in poverty and you have to be broke. You know what I mean? Like, literally, let's figure it out. And even if I'm not a millionaire, I can at least try to help you become a millionaire if that's what you want. You have the freedom to do so. And I want to be able to support anyone who has a positive, productive vision for our community. Like, listen, there is a way for you to get it. And we might have to move some people out the way, but listen, they're in the way. They are in the way. So I'm sorry to say it this way, but if you are in the way of someone's progress and the progress of our community, you and I most likely are not going to see eye to eye, because I don't believe in that. I really don't.
Which I just want to touch on this, and this is my last, because I know we have to move on.
We have to.
But this was good. You seem vibrant. You seem authentic. You seem ready to go. You are one of 5. Do you see this as a part of a team that can help get this done? Or do you feel like this might be difficult because of the existing council members and leadership?
That's a great question.
He loves everybody.
I was about to say that. First and foremost, to my colleagues, Mayor Stefan Roots.
This is not personal.
Councilman Fred Green, Councilwoman Tamika Gibson, Councilwoman Portia West, I love you all. To the city of Chester, I love you all. I think we can get it done, but some things have to change. That's me being honest. Egos have to go. You know what I mean? That pride that some people have, like, oh, it's my turn. I'm ready to be in charge and things be my way. Well, your way might not be everyone else's way. You know what I mean? And then the goal is for all of us to get, like I said, on the same page. And if it's going to be your way might be a Harry Potter book, and I'm reading a football article or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, we got to figure this out. So I think we can get it done because we all bring something very unique to council, and I think that's very productive and positive. Right? I can understand where, like, some cons come in, but I'm somebody that looks at the coin on both sides. Where there's cons, there can be pros. When some people look at Councilwoman Portia's age, I look at her experience. Right.
Absolutely.
When people look at, our mayor and they say, oh, he's cocky, he's arrogant, all the things that I've heard, That man's educated, and sometimes he looks at things from an engineering standpoint. Like, let me break this down. Understand where he's coming from. Like, don't just knock him. Councilman Fred Green, like, listen, he's a positive man. Like, he's productive. He's popular. Everyone knows him. Listen, we can use that to our leverage as our community. You know what I mean? Like, let's start taking Chester nationwide. Fred, you got connections in California? Yes. Let's bring some California connections here. Councilwoman Gibson loves the community. People talk about her feeding people and all that. Like, she does that out of love. Like, I literally watch her do it out of love. I have to respect that. And she's willing to bring different things to the community where it's like, okay, now we really lock in and it looks a certain way and productive. Whew. I bet you no one goes hungry. That's important, right? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about small things, like she does meals.
That's right.
Well,
that's right.
What happened when these meals turn into no one goes to bed hungry? Powerful.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, we just gotta look at how we can work together.
Right.
You know what I mean? It can't be division on city council.
Can't have
I try to be the voice of reason sometimes,
Right,
and
right.
I voice this to people, like,
Right.
in the back room, like, listen, y'all, we one unit. I don't care what's going on, we one unit. Listen to councilman.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, just breathe. Just breathe.
Okay, it's okay. You know, it's okay.
Right.
We're gonna figure this out, y'all, because I got faith in us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to answer another question I feel as though I didn't touch on necessarily, when I came on council and I got appointed, I did hear you're a yes man. You
Right.
are going to be part of that clique.
Right.
The first thing I did was try to separate myself. So when you see me on infrac, I asked the receiver, can I be on infrac? Because that's knowledge, that's information that no one wanted to be a part of. Like, oh, we don't bang with the receiver. Why not? He has knowledge. He has resources. I want to know what he has to say.
Right.
Put me on the infrac. You want to be on? Put me on there. I don't care who has something negative to say about it. I want to hear everything the receiver has to say. That's why I'm on infrac.
Right.
This is why I'm comfortable arguing with my colleagues sometimes. Like, what? Excuse you?
Because you have the information.
Because I have the information. Listen, we can argue about this civilly, but we can argue. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to agree, but I still love you. You still love me. You know what I mean? And that's the way I view all my colleagues. And unfortunately, transparently to the community, I've argued with every single one of my colleagues. Every single one. But when we leave that room, we respect each other. We conduct ourselves a certain way, and we know we want the best for the community. So I'm going to do everything I can to separate myself because I know how I feel, and I know I'll never be anyone's yes man. I don't care what time it is or what's going on. But I let my work speak for itself. Like I said, I want people to see that Councilman Blight. Like, let me be basic. Councilman Blight. Okay. Oh, he's not doing too much, but tearing down some buildings, implementing new policies, bringing some more income to our community. Listen, he's doing all the things that's kind of boring, but if you look at Chester now, it looks completely different when you drive down 9th Street.
Right.
How'd that happen? Some boring stuff happened, y'all, but
Some boring stuff, right?
some boring stuff happened, but
yeah.
it changed. So I'm looking for, like I said, the system to change. You want people to move into our community?
Yeah. System.
We have people running for school board. A parent is not bringing a child to a community if they're not getting a good education.
Right.
We got to start with that. I'm support. And what we got to do about it, y'all? Like, listen, is Chester High bigger than Springfield? Yes. Why is our building not as illustrious as theirs? Hello? Like, does Chester High have teachers that have graduated from Harvard and Yale? Yeah. I mean, does Springfield have teachers that have graduated from Harvard and Yale? Yes. Chester kids need teachers who graduated from Harvard and Yale.
Yes.
We have to change the system. So now when our kids graduate, I'm okay with a young graduate from Chester High telling me to get out the way.
Right.
Councilman, I'm here now. Woo, you here now. We go and get out your way because you young, you energetic, you have new ideas, and you're going to be qualified to do it because the school prepared you.
Right.
I'm ready to get out your way because Chester's in good hands.
That is a great segue.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We'll have to bring you back.
Yeah.
Because you have some very awesome questions and very great energy
Yes, she does.
that I think is definitely needed and welcomed, right? And November 4th.
November 4th.
November
Make sure
4th.
you get out and vote.
That's
man.
Tuesday, November 4th.
It's important. It's important.
So that was a great segue to the schools, to our school board candidates.
Yes.
So, you ladies ready? So first, tell us, if you don't mind, I start, P.
Go ahead, do your thing.
First, tell us specifically, because we're going to be going back and forth,
Right.
because neither one of you, both of you, I should say, are new So none of you are already existing, school board members. Miss Amanda Johnson, we were hoping that she could tune in.
Right.
She's one person that's actually running, that's actually on the board.
Right.
So I would ask you, for the people, again, tell us your name and tell us why you are running for this position.
Trina Johnson, and I'm running for the position because I'm very passionate about preserving and giving our children what it is that they need and what they deserve. I'm not sure what goes on in the school board, so that's why I want to become a part of it so that I can help to get our district where it should be, where it needs to be.
Thank you.
Hey, Lottie Dottie and everybody. Again, Christy Barnes. And the reason why I'm running is, one, like Shai Kwan said, I am Chester. I'm a product of Chester Upland School District. I'm a product of my environment. I'm a seasoned educator, and I say seasoned instead of careered because I guess careered is a certain amount of time, but I think my little 10 years matter. A seasoned educator, and I have a passion for youth advocacy, and not just the youth, but literally everything that encompasses the future of the city. And that literally starts with our kids. We know that environment plays a really big role in the upbringing of a person, and there is literal research that says that school is the only universal place that can do that full development successfully. So what's going on in our schools that our children are graduating and not going to higher institutions, or not becoming our next council members, or not becoming our next HVAC plumbers, whatever the case may be. So I know that I have the information that can push the agenda forward. I also know that I have the collaborative skills and the humbleness, if you will, to sit down and have a conversation and actually be able to understand where someone is coming from, building a compromise, and is, again, seeing how we can push that agenda forward.
Thank you. Thank you both. And I'll go with the first question.
Yes, please.
Right now, just like the city, Chester Upland School District is in receivership. So technically you have limitations, right? So although you may want to do all these things, there's limitations with the receiver. How do you think you all would be able to work with the receiver to make sure that your voices are heard in making some of the changes that you want to see?
Well, one, I would hope that he is open to working with us. As far as the school board, he is the one that's in charge of making all the decisions. He can listen to the school board, but he doesn't necessarily have to do what we may want. And I'm just hoping that he is open to listening to us in order for us to work together to get to where we need to be, and not just he making all the decisions of what he wants to do.
For me, I think it starts with gathering information first. Where are we really? What are some of the policies and procedures currently? And I think that a lot of times we just kind of jump in ready to make this change, but where can we make the most change, and how can we be intentional and strategic about it? How do we know that that's actually going to flourish into some type of, that's going to render successful results? So for me, I want to see where we're at with things. What's really see? And how are we really utilizing the power that we do have to have these conversations and have these collaborative moments where maybe there is an influence of, say, a change or something else that needs to be implemented, or something that needs to be stopped. A lot of times we automatically think that we need to recreate the wheel, and I honestly think that we have a will. There is a foundation somewhere, right? There's pride in Chester City for a reason. Homecoming is one of the biggest events for a reason. How can we kind of harness that and make sure that we're bringing that to these meetings, to the board, to behind the scenes, to be able to intentionally move that agenda forward?
Thank you.
The school board, to me, is one of the places that You do not get paid for your service, right? You are volunteering time to help mold the future of our city. What's one of the biggest issues that you find or that you see inside of the school board or inside of the schools, period, that you would like to change?
Mine would be parent, community, family engagement.
Right.
I was a part of the PTO when my daughter was at Edgemont Scholars Academy, and the biggest issue was getting the parents and the community to come out to support the children, or for us to sit down and figure out what it is that the children need, what it is that you're not seeing that's being done, so that we can work together and get it done.
As you know, I work in Philly, and one of the metrics that we use to kind of support our schools is parents are looped in as partners. So I definitely agree with Ms. Trina when we say, you know, parental and community engagement. I also think that community should pour into the school a little bit more. I know when I was at Chester High, we hosted a few different events that was bringing entrepreneurs into the school so that students can kind of hear what that really, what that process looks like, so that they could see themselves in those roles. Does it make? Thank you. So that they can see themselves, we're good? Okay. So that they can see themselves in those roles and actually know, like, you know, like they have a life to look forward to after graduation. A lot of times we're saying, all right, just graduate, just finish school, you know, once you get to graduation, and then what? You know, like what's going on in life after that. So for me, it's more so targeting like the instruction and the curriculum to make sure that we're producing students that are ready for life after graduation, that are ready to be law-abiding, participatory citizens, that I don't have to remind them to register to vote. They already know that, you know, is something that they should be participating in. And I think the only way that we can reach that is by really making sure that we have a genuine, high-quality education.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
November 4th.
Yes.
It's important
Some
when we
answers,
think about voting and we think about the different things that we have that weigh against us in our community. We're divided up into different factions. We're divided up into different sects. But coming out to vote, you would think we would have people that, it's 36,000 people in the city of Chester, right? Typically, an election probably brings out 3,000 people. That's not a lot of people when you compare it to the population, especially to the people that are eligible to vote. This voting season, we didn't see a lot of advertisements. We didn't see a lot of flyers. We didn't see a lot of people saying, listen, I'm running. I want you to vote for me. I want you to talk or come out and ask me questions, right? When we have school board members, y'all take a lot of flack, right? Because y'all are in charge of a school that no one, I'm not gonna say no one cares about, because I know people care about the city of Chester and they care about our school district, but y'all take a lot of flack from the parents for not being as open to come out and communicate, right? And I know this is kind of like the same question, but asked in a different way. Do you see the school board actually going out into the community to do forums like this and hold places where you're not talking in an actual school board meeting, but you're talking in a community forum or just a chat and chew, right? Do you think that will help bring the parents out a little bit more once they get to know you guys a little bit better?
So last year we did have that
Okay.
at Chester High. It was a chat and chew. A few people came out,
Right.
but it still wasn't a turnout like I would have liked it
Right.
to have been.
Right.
And I would like to see more of those.
Okay.
So I would be willing to speak with the superintendent to see
Right.
if we could do that again.
Yeah. And everybody always says, I don't see it, right? I didn't know it was happening. And I said, did you use all of the outlets, right? Did you communicate, number one, to the student? Did you send it home to the student in their book bag, right? Number two, did you talk about it on Facebook? Did you get somebody to share? And then did you reach out to the, not Delaware Times, not the Daily Times, but did you reach out to the local places CAAT TV, CMP Radio, right, to boister or to get that message out there so people understand, oh, this is what we're doing Tuesday at 7 p.m. Come through, let's chat and chew. Let's talk about how you view the community, right? Is that something that y'all wouldn't have a problem with doing?
Absolutely not. I mean, when the city first got into receivership and Mike Dowry was our receiver and he came down, he literally asked like, hey, who are the community members that are very invested in what's going on? How can I collaborate with you to kind of build on, some of these things? And I was hosting Zoom meetings then. Like, come on, y'all.
Yep.
Anybody, la-di-da-di, anybody is open to the public. Like, let's have a conversation. And he literally logged in and had like 2-hour meetings where he was just sharing information, sharing resources, and community members were legit giving ideas to the receiver. I think a lot of times we think that that's such a foreign thing. It's called social capital. We, as the tax-paying residents, should be the ones holding our public servants, and I say servants, accountable, because at the very end of the day, they are our boss. If I'm elected, I'm working for the students, I'm working for the parents, and for the staff that encompasses Chester Upland School District. I'm also working for the community members who may not have children in the district, who may not, be so directly correlated, but understand that there's a power in education. So yeah, I definitely think that spreading the knowledge is definitely needed. Touching on every avenue is definitely needed. I'm sure that people said that, my campaigning was a little lax, but like CMP, like JP mentioned, hitting all of those different platforms definitely play a role. But how are we making sure that this is a universal community where communication is not gatekept, right? Where you can get information, you can get knowledge, and then not be tainted because they don't want you to know this part of the situation. I think that this kind of transitions into the transparency and accountability. If I'm not telling you what's really happening, how can you, the public, really be able to make a concrete decision on what's best for you, your student, the person that you're invested in, whatever the case may be, if you don't have all of the information? So yeah, I think that we definitely need to figure out a way to open that communication up and make sure that it's accessible not just to the people that was in the room, but to the people who may not be able to get to the room, or the people that don't even know the room exists, because their voice still matters too.
That part. I just want to say that Miss Amanda Johnson is here.
Okay.
She's online.
Okay.
So I think we're going to try and get her up on the screen and try and figure out how she can answer some questions. Also, yeah, I hear her trying to come in.
I can jump right in. Questions y'all can hear.
Okay, so right now we're just getting some clarity, on who you are, what you want to see, and how you will make an impact. While she's coming on, I just want to say that I think a couple years ago, Dr. Tasleen Morales had put online that she was going up to Harrisburg and, fighting to, keep certain things in the budget. And I got there and I was like, okay, my daughter, we live now in the district, but she doesn't go to a brick and mortar. But I still thought it was necessary as a parent in the school district to go and see what was happening. And what I realized is that there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. And I see her, I used to see her, posting, and I say used, not that she's not doing it now, but I'm just saying, referencing that time. And I was like, okay, she's up there, but I only saw her at the time, right? So I was like, so is there really something happening? Is she the only, person, going up? Like, what is actually happening with our school board members? Because I wasn't clear as to why when I went up there and she invited me, she was the only one. So I'm like, do they take turns? Like what exactly is happening? How are they really fighting for our kids? Like what is going on? So I guess my question to you, and I know Amanda's everywhere. I don't know how she do it. I think she got a clone really. So, and we're going to get you to invite and to introduce yourself in 1 second, if that's okay.
Yes. I gotta
Okay.
give a response for that one right there.
Okay, okay. So she's going to respond. So I'll let you respond third. So in that, like, she was one of the people that I know for sure. Again, not that the others weren't. I just didn't see them, right? And you can answer that. Are you willing to not just go to the school board meetings, but, you know, to go and fight? Because people are literally trying to continue to cut funds, you know, to our educational system. So just wondering, how far are you willing to go, you know, to help with what's happening with the educational system in Chester?
I'm willing to go as far as I need to. The past 2 years, I have been at Harrisburg with our students, supporting them on Advocacy Day. I've also been in Washington advocating for Head Start. So I'm willing to go as far as I can until I have no more breath in my body, because our babies deserve it.
Thank you.
For me, I would definitely say, you know, same. But I also feel like I have to be honest. This looks a little different for me. I still have a 9-to-5. I still have certain responsibilities and taking care of and providing for my little old self. And those things, I mean, we're being honest, those things definitely take away some of the time that I can be, you know, present and there and advocating. However, that doesn't mean that I'm not willing to have the conversations. If I'm not there physically, I'm sharing out the information. I'm making sure that other people that are able to go can go. And even, you know, sometimes people are like, I don't know anybody that's going. Y'all all got the same mindset. Everybody, the fact that you're even interested in, you know, advocating for our young people says that you're at the right place.
Right.
So how can I bridge those gaps to make sure that again, like, the community is communal, that everyone feels that universal, like, access to information, access to be able to do whatever the thing is, and not point the finger if you see someone else representing in a different way, right? So maybe I can't be there at Harrisburg, maybe I'm going live and having a conversation about someone who did go and giving us a recap or something like that. I think those little details often fall to the wayside, and those are the little things that can add to the bigger picture of, like, you know, collaboration and serving the community.
Thank you for those, because I, again, asked how far can you go? And that's not always in space, right? It's in people. It's in technology. How far can you go? If you were going, you couldn't go, you can make sure that everybody knows that she's going. You know what I mean? So that's, to me, that's an excellent example. Miss Amanda?
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, so I'm gonna tag in right. I'm gonna jump right on that. So let me say, you had went to the school, some of the school board training, and we actually shouted out Dr. Tazreen Morales of how excellent she is when it comes to doing that legislative stuff. She brings it back to us and make sure we know what we need to know. Now, the thing about the school board, we all have or share different committees. Legislation is her committee. So she does that, and then she includes us on it. So mine personally is IT communication. So, you know, when she comes back, she's like, okay, give us what you got. But she stays on that, and she is excellent at that. So I definitely want to make sure everybody knows she's there, because that's her heart. And she says that all the time. But that's why probably you're going to just really see her most of the time, and maybe not other board members, because that's her assignment and her committee.
Thank you. Thank you. Because again, as a parent, and I don't know where to look at you at, as a parent, you know, I don't know those things. And I guess I don't go to those meetings either. Transparency. Oh, absolute transparency. Because a lot of times I'm doing something else. So I'm not sitting home, right? I'm doing something else, changing lives another way. So, you know, so I might be absent from those particular type of meetings. But it's just like, can I still know what's happening? Can I still be a part of it? You know, having a child that's not in brick and mortar, we don't know about the spelling bees until they're done, like that day. we have no communication with this, what's happening with the school at all. So with that, and I know you're on the board right now, so I guess you in answering that question, I want to ask them first as to, do you have any ideas as to how you can bridge that where those that are homeschooled or cyber schooled but still live in the Chester Upland School District receive information? Have you ever thought of it, or you know what I mean?
I've never thought of that.
Okay.
And for children that are not in brick and mortar, I thought were still a part of the district and still got the communications that we did, but I guess not.
Right. No.
As an educator, COVID happened. I had to literally transition to online communications. And when I noticed that my students weren't showing up to class or attendance had dropped significantly, I used other platforms to reach out to them. So even things like walking around in the city and running into them, instead of it just being like, oh, hey, Miss Barnes, hey, I haven't seen you in class in a couple times. Like, what's going on? In case you don't have the Zoom link, it's this. My office hours are this. And I think that, for me, instead of just saying, all right, let me just make a phone call home, it was like, okay, where are they? Like, how can I meet them where they are? Facebook. They're on social media.
Shoot.
There's
Doesn't have a child in brick and mortar, what is being done or what can be done to ensure that parents that are not in brick and mortar brick and mortar. Brick and mortar get information as to what's happening in the Chester Upland School District.
Can you hear me? I can hear you now. Good. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear for a minute here. Sorry, dear. One of the things when I first came on to the board, that was my priority because I'm a communications person in the community. I'm like, I don't know nothing. How am I supposed to find out what's going on in the school? And then if you call the right person to answer the phone, then you still won't know anything. So that's one of the reasons why I joined the communications and the IT department so that we could work on how can we let's do videos, post them, share them, link them. So that's one of the things I'm still working on because it's still we still got a lot of work to do. They do have a newsletter, but again, are we doing everything we can do to get it to them? Because the first thing is like, oh, y'all go to the website, and they're doing better with the website. But how are ways that we could get it to them? Now I know that they are asking more people to share the link, try to make those connections. But we have a lot of work to do. It's still not getting where we need to get to, but the conversations are being.
Okay, thank you.
Man. This is on mental health and student safety, right? You know, I don't know, we can go back to, it was like 2000 when they began to cut music and art and theater from the schools. I believe what that did was make children that love music, art, and theater not even want to go to school, not even want to be involved, right? Because if a kid was going to school and they loved music, then they wanted to go to school, right? I had to do everything else to get the music, right? I had to go through English and math to get the music, right? Or I had to go through English and math to get the theater. And I know, you know, due to budget cuts and things just not being able, money not just being able to be spent in those areas, a lot of children, they leaned on other things, right? So we're dealing with mental health real heavy now in our community, and student safety has always been a big thing. What steps will you take to address mental health needs, bullying, and school safety without criminalizing or over-disciplining students?
For me, I stem from conversations.
Right.
I think a lot of times, students are talked to and not, having a conversation with.
Right.
I think a lot of times adults come into the room, and when it's time for accountability to be had, it's like, I'm the smarter one, so I know what's best. I know how to handle this. You were wrong, and there's not really like a dialogue to get to a level of understanding or clarity. And just to kind of talk about why I have these experiences, my first real, I would say, in-school experience for a long period of time was with Toby Farms, and we had a therapeutic day school. And in that, I was the behavior specialist. Like, my job was literally to identify the triggers and to stop them from happening, basically, so we wouldn't have any behavior issues. And I literally just started with observing and having conversations with the students. Like, when you did that, what were you feeling? What was the thing that made you feel that? And I think a lot of times, especially when it comes down to discipline, we don't include them in the process, right? It's something that's done to them. And how are we going to really make sure that there's a way that we learn from this versus just saying, all right, I can't do that in front of her, or I can't do that and get caught. Integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. So how are we building integrity in the disciplinarian process, right? And I know that the board used to have the but the hearings, judicial hearings, based on being expelled or certain issues that's being had. And I actually had to sit in one with my niece at one point. And I remember thinking to myself, like, when did they have a conversation with her parents, about what their concerns were? And how did we come to a compromise based on that? And for me, I always take that with me as an educator. So conversations, like, how are we actually building integrity? How are we giving knowledge and setting up boundaries for students to realize that certain things just aren't appropriate? That's all. It's a time and place for everything.
Right.
That's it.
So I would say the same thing, conversations, because mental health is real. A lot of our children are suffering from mental health. I'm not a professional, so I would want to sit down with the professionals to figure out what it is, because everyone is different when it comes to mental health. So I would want to sit down with them to figure out what it is, sit down with the parents, sit down with the child, I'm from the era where a child is to be seen and not heard. I never believed in that because they do have feelings. A lot of things that happened to me when I was growing up hinder me from doing things. So we need to be there for our children and figure out what it is that they need, and discipline will not be the same for everyone. And it doesn't need to be harsh, so yeah, having the conversations.
Amanda, how you feeling?
Today are not yesterday.
What steps will you take to address mental health needs, bullying, and school safety without criminalizing or over disciplining students?
Can you,
I can hear you.
okay, I was saying, not these kids. We have to find out what works.
Right.
Not we didn't. You talk about art. Oh, we have to find art full force. Because I enjoyed to back up to Tara when she did Pearly, when we was in high school.
Right.
Theater was my lifeline. That's why I'm so
Right.
dramatic now. Theater was my lifeline. I enjoyed it. So I'm working with thousands to do some more for talent shows to get the kids out because they have my time. But we have to find what it is. Don't quote me, but from what I did, one kindergarten are not that cannot. So there needs to focus on what it is. First, for so we got to find what I do from when I grew up. So my
That's not.
grown up, and she like, what would I'm going to what are your rights? What are you standing to? What I found Salvation Army, but that's more like, hey, come on in, do activities. But those that are really teaching them, those are the people that I want to talk to find out what's going on.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Ms. Sarah.
Thank you, thank you. That kind of was bringing me to my next question, because, CAT Center, CMP, technology, right? But the CAT Center, art, technology, humanities. Like, how do you all see utilizing organizations like us more? The school district, leaving out of the school district proper and saying, hey, we have these partners, how can we do better at partnership with these organizations?
I have no problem.
Same. I think that when I was at Chester High, this was actually part of my job, to bring the community into our schooling program. And I originally came into Chester High under Camelot. They then transferred under Full Bloom, and then they were SESI schools. Ultimately, we were alternative education. We were like the second chance program for students who were overage, under-accredited. So some of the things, again, that I did was ask the students what were some of the things they wanted to see. Like, what are some of the things you want to be involved in? What are some of the things you want to do? What's your plan? And if they don't have a plan, or even if they do have a plan, exposure was like my biggest priority. And like I mentioned before, I literally had, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, business owners come into the school and host a fair where students are literally hearing from people who are from the city, who are operating in the city for the city, talk about how they're able to generate revenue to support their livelihoods, and how some of those programs, nonprofits, businesses are directly contributing back to the community. I think it's very important that our students see themselves in whatever we're trying to expose them to. So if they don't see themselves in literature, math, science, then why would they, interact with it in a genuine way? So when it comes down to bridging the gap between the community and the school, for me, those two entities have to coexist in order for better quality of education to happen, because that's the only way a better quality of life is going to happen in the city.
Amanda, you kind of touched that because, again, we went to high school together. And yes, we're in plays. A lot of people, like, oh, Miss Tara. Yes, I act, I sing, I dance. And that's why the CAAT Center is so important to me, because I know what helped us.
Right.
I know why I was never too late. I was there every day, when I went to Chester High,
Right.
because either I had track, I had something to do, a track or volleyball, whatever season it was,
Right.
or theater, I was in
Something
a
for
choir.
everyone.
There was something,
Right.
And when they started taking that stuff out, it was heartbreaking, because it's just like, what are y'all trying to do? But then I said, okay, if we can't control what's happening in school because we don't have proper school board members or whatever's happening there,
Right.
you know what? Come on out to the community.
Right.
We control this.
Right.
So we're still wanting to make sure that the connection with the school district exists, right?
It can grow.
So it can grow. But we know that as community, we had to take things out so that we can control them for our people,
Right.
because the institutions that we were relying on were no longer reliable. Right? So I believe when you all are saying, hey, we're running for school board, again, my next question is, after receivership, right? After receivership, what do we see happening with the leadership on the school board? Like, what are some of the things that you all want to see happen, like, immediately?
To make sure that we have good quality teachers and the information that is being taught to our children is up to date, is what they need to be learning. Children are still behind in reading and all because of COVID. So the principals come in, they give their, spiel about what they're going to do in order to get the children caught up. I have yet to find out how to get the information to show, like, where our children are, if the numbers are climbing, if they are learning, if they are getting on grade level and all. So that is what I want to see. I don't know how to get that information. I have yet to see that information. So that is my concern, getting our children on the levels where they need to be or above.
What does a school district look like after receivership? Honestly, it's something, for me, I feel like when we talk about education in the city, it's almost like a daunting, heavy thought. And I really think that when we talk about education, we should get excited. And I mean, like, from the pit of our heart, from the pit of our soul, like, really jump for joy, because there was a time where we could not have this, right? And people have literally died for us to have the privilege to learn something, to read a book. And I think a lot of times we feel so removed from that, right? Like, when I was teaching civics, I started with slavery. I started with life in Africa. I started with how we were prospering, what things was going on there, and I brought it back to how we got to where we currently are, right? And a lot of times my students would be like, well, why? And I'm like, well, if you don't know where you came from, how you gonna know where you can go, right? If you don't know what happened for you to get here, how are you gonna know what might need to happen for you to get there, and for the people behind you to be able to come up to where you are now? So for me, I really would like to see an institution that is looked at more as a community, looked at more as like a recreational center versus a business. That's looked at as, and we know that it has to operate as a business, right? That's a fact. But how do we interact with it? How do we treat it? What does that really look like in an everyday limelight? So I guess some of the like starting points would be daily operations. Like, how does the school building run, right? Who is saying what when the students first walk in? What is being told to them, and who is saying it? When they get to their first period, what is the conversation? If a student is coming in late, how are they addressed? How are they interacted with? That's setting them up for the rest of their
Yes,
day.
it is.
Right? So now we get into the classroom and the content. What is the level, what is the quality level of the instruction, of the curriculum, right? We know that we can't design the curriculum. Okay, cool. Fine. How are we making sure that our teachers have the tools needed to be able to customize whatever, to make sure that our students, again, see themselves in that so that they can interact with it and invest in it?
Right.
Education is one of the only things that cannot be taken away from you. And it's one of the only things that you have in your back pocket as a weapon. You can't look at me and know what degrees I have and what fields that may look like. And okay, you may look at that stereotype and say that, but I'm also the same Christy that's going to be at homecoming. I'm the same Christy that's going to Nerds. I'm the same Christy that's going to pop out at the street bar with my uncle. Like, all of those things definitely coincide. So just because we want to advocate for, you know, a stronger system doesn't necessarily mean that the community can't be a part of that.
Yeah.
So I think that it's very important that we target daily operations, the curriculum and instruction, and who are the people that's in front of our kids and what are they saying to our kids. And how is that incorporating our kids to be excited about school so that their parents is like, what's going on in the school building that you just so excited to be able to go? Let me go to.
Right.
Let me go to. Let me attend these parent conferences. And I think that that's what I want to see. I want to see our parent-teacher conferences being so packed that we need, like we ran out of food.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all of those problems. And not that I can't feed people, but that we weren't prepared for the amount of people who come out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And how is the community showing up? How are the students being put into the community? Like, are we still having a situation where students are able to have a conversation with Shaquan in his office at City Hall? Are we showing them, like, how to get into politics? Are we showing them what it looks like to register to vote?
Right.
How is social capital really manifesting? So, long story short, so sorry, that was a very long response, but I think that like all of that really encompasses what life could be and should be right now, but should definitely be after receivership, for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Amanda?
Just want to test. It keeps going out. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So I want to talk about receivership. Then I want to tag team back on that last question about the community parts. So receivership, because I'm on the board, it has to start. We have to start with the policy of the board members. What are we supposed to be doing and how we are supposed to do it? I feel we need to scratch what we currently have and create a new policy to tell us what we're supposed to do. Because if we don't have anything written down on what we're supposed to do as a school board member, then we can't relay that to the superintendent. And then in turn, the superintendent relays that to the staff. So that's where personally, what does it look like? It means that we have a sound policy for the board in place so that we can relay what we want to the superintendent. But the superintendent is the one that's supposed to act it out. So if someone says, my child was late, I need you to come up here. That's not for the school board to jump on that call. That they can reach out to the superintendent, but we're not supposed to run up to the school and say, hey, HR or human resources, whatever, we all need to get this kid. That's not our role. Our role is to put things in place. Okay, so if something's going on with attendance, what's the next step? What are we supposed to do next? So for me, as a board member, I think we need to get our policies and what we're supposed to do in line. This way, when we hand it over to the superintendent can act out what needs to be done, and we can hold that superintendent accountable. But if we don't have no policies, we can't even, say what we want. We got to write it down. So that's my goal, is to at least try to get the policies in place so that then we can relay that to the superintendent and then get those things in place, like the lady said, in place. The teachers, we got the right teachers, we got the right tools and everything for the kids. So for me, that it looks like having policies in place. But also when I became a part of the school board, I'm hearing about certain schools got like 40 clubs and all these different clubs. I'm like, there's no reason why we can't have all these clubs. We got the CAAT. Our CMP was already doing his thing already with the kids with the radio, but we got so many resources that already are doing them. Why are we not partnering with them, especially when they taking funding? I was like, guess what? We already got people doing it. Let's connect with them. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of my story. I was telling people to come out. Hey, all right, I can't control the receivers meeting, but I can control the CAL meeting, which is committee of the whole. Come on out, give me a presentation so everybody can hear it and see it. And I had one, and it was so successful because the teachers was going to the people that was asked, giving their information, saying, hey, you know what? I think this would work good in our school, or the different principals. Kiara Morales came, Glowing Flow. She came, she talked about hair program. Mr. Rock, he came, talked about his arts program, and they were actually having conversations. And then there was another individual who came, and he was talking about teaching kids how to grow food. And he was already working in the community. So when he said, oh, I'm from Philly, but I work in the community, and, I'm already here in Chester, so I would love to partner. I'm like, okay, this is working. And then the next thing I know, the meeting over, and I'm getting backlash about, you violated the Sunshine Act. You ain't supposed to let him talk. I'm like, he's not talking about the agenda. He's talking about helping our kids. I was like, you know what? We need to stop. If somebody is coming and giving our kids resources, I want to hear it. So I just wanted to piggyback that sometimes it's our own people keeping us from moving forward, but I'm all in. We got too many resources in our community to not have our kids to have the right programs in place.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. I know it's getting late.
Yes, it is.
And I just want to say thank you, because we can ask you questions all night.
Right.
And you are answering them.
Right.
Great.
Yes.
And I'm impressed.
I am too.
And
I wish there was more people here.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about sitting up here.
Right. I know what you mean. Right. But I'm okay, because who's supposed to be here
Are here.
Right? Because I think this is, again, yet another way for people to see who you are, right? And not just like by yourself in an interview, but how you collectively can be seen. Because I think it's so important that whoever is voted for city council can also work with who's ever working with the school board.
Right. That's how it's supposed to work, right?
State rep needs to work with the school board and city council, senator, and so on and so forth, right? So so it matters who you put in, because like Amanda said, you get that bad apple who just wants to mess up everything when you all are talking about progress. And a lot of people want to talk about what was. We need to talk about what is and how can we move forward.
Yes.
I think it sounds like all of you are on that same page. One last thing, before we go, just tell us individually, why should people come out and vote for you on November 4th?
Yes.
Amanda, Chrissy, we'll start with you.
Hey, y'all, hey. So you should go out on the 4th and vote. And the people hate when I say this.
No more than 1 minute.
Okay. People hate when I say this, but whether you vote for me or not, go out and vote. Keep in mind that with the school board, there's 4 seats up, there are 7 people. So in that 4 seats, just let me get one. Just let me get one of them. And why? Because I am a member of the community. I have been, my entire life. I've given back to the community in more than one way, and there's no one more passionate about interacting with our youth in a more genuine way and kind of building the gap between parental and teacher supports, encouragement, accountability, whatever the case may be, when it comes down to it, because I've walked the walk and I've talked the talk. I've been in those seats as a student, as a teacher, as an admin. So a lot of times, in a lot of different ways, I'm able to address some of the things that may be swept under the rug or that some people may not know could be addressed. I'm here to advocate for you, and I'm here to be accountable to you through transparency. So vote for me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, good afternoon, everybody. Thank y'all for having me.
1 minute.
major reason why I all think that you should vote for me is because I'm bringing a new perspective to the city of Chester. I'm bringing a new mindset, new energy, and something that I really feel as though we need here in our community. You know what I mean? It's time for us to really, we talk about it, you know, Chester's small and mighty, but it's time to really show the world what we have to offer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm not taking less from anybody or anything when it comes to our community. So you have somebody that's willing to fight, just know I'm willing to fight the right ways, abide by the law, uphold my integrity as an individual, and be somebody that can represent our city, and that you all take pride in me being here. Like, listen, y'all know Councilman Shaquan Davis. We love that guy. You know what I mean? He's for us, and he's willing. He's approachable. He's respectable. You know what I mean? He'll do anything for you. That's what I feel as though all elected officials should be. I'm community oriented. You know what I mean? I'm happy to work with anybody, help anybody. You know what I mean? I'm happy to give anybody my number, and I'm not here for self. You know what I mean? I'm done with people being here for self. I'm really here for Chester. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're doing better than me. As long as you're doing better for Chester, we on the same page. So I'm really just here to push our city, our community forward, because I love the city of Chester so much, and that's just really deep in my heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think you should vote for me because I'm passionate about getting what our children deserve. I attend the school board meetings. I attend the receivers meetings. I'm at the coat drives, helping to get our children coats. I have reached out to principals in our district and given them my information and let them know that they can contact me if there's anything that they need, anything that I can help them with. Again, I'm in Harrisburg advocating for our children. I'm going to Washington advocating for a Head Start. I'm in the school. I have been on transportation's back since the beginning of school, and I don't plan on getting off until they exceed the expectations of our children and provide the services that they deserve.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
For this conversation.
Absolutely.
I think it was an amazing conversation. And I feel like you all could have gone on. Okay. Why should we vote for you on November 4th?
All right, I'm gonna have to switch this up a little bit because I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm not gonna ask you to vote for me. I'm gonna ask you to vote for you, and I'm gonna ask you to vote for our kids. Be the voice for those who can't vote. Vote for the person that you think will represent you, that will stand on the morals, that will do what they need to do for our community, boots on the ground, 10 toes down. So that's what I'm gonna ask you to do. Vote for you and vote for our kids.
Oh man, you know I got tons of words to say, but I want everybody to go out and vote November 4th, right? Everybody that feels as though their future is on the line. We have a lot of things going on with our federal government. We have a lot of things going on with our local government, our state government. These are the things that happen when we refuse to believe that we have the power to change it. When we don't use our vote, when we don't come together as a community, when we don't yell out, and I use this acronym a lot. If I'm in a store and I'm buying coffee and the person in front of me buys cold coffee and they stand to the side and they say my coffee's cold, I'm not placing my order until he or she has hot coffee, right? You have to become a part of the solution and not just a part of the people on the side squawking about it. You have to want real change, and real change sometimes requires sacrifice. Tuesday is a real change moment for our community. Tuesday is finally being able to say no more of the same politics that we've been dealing with for the last 30 plus years. I don't blame anyone in particular, one person, because it's not a one person situation. It's a mindset of following. I don't want to do that. I really don't. Anyway, Tuesday, come out and vote. Vote for the people that you feel as though are going to move your community forward. And do it with a clean heart and an open mind.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming for this conversation. We are so excited, that people will see you on this platform with JP and I. And thank for Amanda for coming.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Just thank you, because this shows the community you'll show up.
Right.
You know, this shows the community you'll show up. And again, there's a retention question on the ballot.
Right.
For the judges.
Very important.
Vote yes.
Yes.
So keep the same judges.
Yes.
Don't let them fool you. We need those same judges to go back in and continue fighting on that particular level.
Good.
And again, it's very important to always vote local, because local politics
Make things
matter.
work. Yes, they do.
Okay, so again, thank you all and the community that came out.
right,
Thank
right.
you, and thank you as our guests today. We are again so grateful. So everybody, I always leave you with peace
Yes.
and love.
Yes.
I'll see y'all soon.
Peace.
Welcome to CAAT TV.